My name's Ashley Sutton. Some people say I can design some good bars, but I would say I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. I grew up in Willetton, Ferndale and Fremantle. Yeah, we sort of grew up around the sea in Rottnest with all boats. All of our family had boats. But I was very artistic, used to draw on all my walls and used to like inventing stuff. When I was growing up, I aspired to be a boat builder as far as I can remember. Unfortunately, I didn't have the mathematics to get the apprenticeship into that. Even though I got straight A's in art, metalwork and woodwork, I still needed to get a B in mathematics and English, and I just didn't rock up to those classes. So they were quite boring to me. I never wanted to get into design work, and it was only by accident that I got into it with my business. I used to have a little steel importation business, and so I designed this factory to make them inspired by the merchandise we were selling. We were selling these little iron fairies, and that became inundated by the Thais. The Thais loved it to come in and watch my staff make fairies. And became such a success that the factory couldn't even work because people just wanted to come into the factory and have a beer or have a glass of wine. And from then on, I did another 50 places in Asia. The design of iron fairies came about by my time on an iron ore mine in the Pilbara. They should walk in and pretty much taken to another place, I suppose, where the garden's turned upside down. So it's full of mainly a lot of butterflies, insects, where the miners used to go up and collect all the insects to make wings. There's furnaces where they used to melt down the iron to make the fairies. There's tools everywhere, and it's another world. One of my favourite designs, it's still even not open to the public. That's a place in Bangkok designed for a billionaire, and that's a place called Dreadnought. That's a place full of the kinetic systems, so the ceiling all moves up and down. It's a freaking awesome design as far as visually. Practically it might not be that good, but it's like a big 50-metre long dining room table. A lot of my bars I'll go into before opening time, and that's when they're the best. The lights are a bit lighter and you can actually see all the work, but otherwise they get a bit lost with all the people. My family grew up in Fremantle. They were the first chemists here in the 19th century. So my family has a big tie to Fremantle. I always wanted to buy a commercial property here, and I looked for a long time. This place is obviously in the West End, and we've got a great loft upstairs as well. Darling is named after a brothel in Phnom Penh, a beautiful old brothel in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And I like Darling. It's like the name of a ship, so it's like a sweetheart. And this was one of the first importation spots where they used to store alcohol and goods from the ships in the 1860s. So the design down here is an authentic design, as if a bar where all the seafarers had just come from England. They'd come off the ship and come and have a beverage at a traditional seafarers bar, as it would have been in 1860s, 1870s. That's why I designed this, to replicate the history of Fremantle and its seafaring days.